This is Joe Garcia. I'm your host of the podcast of the Countdown 210 podcast, should I say. I'm joined by a very special guest, Tom Tom, coming to us all the way from Alabama. How you doing today, Tom Tom?
I'm good. What's going on?
All right, sir. Well, I'm just going to go getting right into it right now. What we're going to talk about is the disappointing loss that we saw yesterday with the Spurs versus Wizards. I know you probably saw the same thing I did. Basically, what's been going on with the Spurs is they're kind of out of sync. They're not all firing on all cylinders yet. We knew there'd be some growing pains. They're not going to be going 82-0 throughout the season. Just not going to happen. But in that fourth quarter, they just killed themselves. Turnovers. And basically the outcome was like it was last time when they went down to Washington and they faced John Wall. He's the one that beat them, but this time there was a new guy that beat us with the last-second three. So what's your take on this, Tom?
Man, it was heartbreaking. It was that defensive breakdown by LaMarcus Aldridge at the end when he got jabbed by Bradley Beal to make that game-winning three.
Yes, it was. It was a heartbreaker. I mean, they had climbed early in the – well, this is the thing is the Spurs, when they were over there in Washington, they didn't even come to play right off the bat. It's like they kind of had like jet lag. They were like a step slow. I don't know what was going on with them. But early they found themselves in a down 19-2, and then they went on a little run and they worked themselves back into the game. But they were about a couple of points away from just Pop pulling them off the floor and putting in the starters just to see. I mean the bench just to see what would happen. I mean it's just kind of, you can tell that the Spurs still kind of have the same issues that they had last year. And the issues they had were rebounds. They cannot get those 50-50 balls, defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, especially with that second unit. It seems like they still can't get the rebounds. Another thing that I saw that I didn't expect too much of, that I thought he would do better this year, was LaMarcus Aldridge. He really didn't play good defense, and he's not really known for that. Even in Portland, he wasn't a really good defender, but now it's becoming more and more evident that defense really isn't part of his game. He's more, trying to find his sink right now and get that offense going. I mean, what do you think, Tom?
Well, first off, I just wanted to say his defense is better than advertised so far, but it did take a step back last night. But
yeah,
his biggest concern is getting his rhythm on offense, finding his role, because he is touching the ball less than he did in Portland and holding it for less time, and that might be taking him out of his rhythm because it stretches. I noticed there's stretches where he won't get the ball in his spots, and he'll be hesitant to pull the trigger in catch and shoot situations, always looking to make that extra pass. It's not a surprise to me that is happening, and I believe it'll change with time.
Yeah, I believe it will too. He just got to find his rhythm. He's got to find what's going to work for him in this Spurs system. But his spacing on the floor is off, and you can tell a lot of times he looks like he's about to go out of bounds, and he's like in no man's land. And Tim, or let's say Bobo or somebody else, that you're going to try to pass him the ball, he's not in the right space on the floor to get that ball and then try to get an easy two. He's got to get the ball. He's got to set himself. Then he's got to back the guy back down, his defender back down, and then he's just got to try to turn around and do a little fadeaway on him. But I mean, that's he can't do that. I mean, you got to be ready. You got to get that correct spacing, not only for yourself but for your teammates, because if the opportunity arises when they pass you the ball, you could give it right back to them, kind of like a little give and go action, and they could get an easy shot. By him being out of rhythm and not on that correct space on the floor, it kind of throws a little damper on the offense. Another thing I noticed about him yesterday was he even said it himself. he did an interview after the game, and he said when he was not shooting and the ball wasn't falling for him early in the game, it kind of got him. He kind of thought himself out of the game. And I was like, wow, you thought yourself out of the game? I said, you can't be weak-minded, man. You got to be ready to play from the get-go, and if the shot's not falling for you, you got to find a way to get yourself into the game and into that right frame of thinking. You know, I mean, granted, it's only 5 games into the season. You might have had an off night, but there ain't no time for you to be talking yourself out the game. You have to talk yourself into the game, because every game, especially in the Western Conference, is going to mean something. And what do you think, Tom?
Right. That won't fly in San Antonio. And I understand this is first year with a new team and a new system, and he's not used to this culture yet. So that's got a lot to do with it. He's probably still nervous and intimidated about playing for the Spurs after playing against them for so many years. It's a big culture shock for him.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I noticed one thing about him too, and it's, you know, the last couple games, he plays better with the second unit than he does with Timmy and Tony on the floor. When it's Manu and you got Bobo, you got Patty, you got Danny Green, you know, he'll play better with that second unit with the bench players because it's more comfortable for him on the floor because he's the man. You know, they're going to give him the ball, and they're going to expect him to be the man to go down on the post, you know, get down dirty and get those shots, or get, you know, try to create some offense or try to pass the ball back out. And he plays better with that second unit than he does with the starters. I mean, have you noticed the same thing?
I noticed it too. And that might be part of the reason, like what we talked about last week, it might be better to start staggering him and Tim's minutes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough call for them to be playing at their peak and all of them on the floor at the same time. Didn't we kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we did. We did. Because we had to have one of either him or Tim on the floor at all times. Because with David West and Boris Diaw together as the 4 and the 5 with the second unit, that won't get it. That got exploited. We saw how that got exploited.
Yeah. It gets exploited because, remember, we talked about them having issues with defense, with getting those defensive and offensive rebounds. You know, that's the thing that kills them, man. If you give a good young shooting team like the Wizards second and third, you know, chances to get that ball and possibly get another shot off, it's going to go in one of those 3 times, you know?
Right. I'd say we give Boban a chance.
Oh, man. Hey, man, Boban, all he has to do is just keep the ball way up high, because he got in trouble when he started bringing the balls down. They just need to give him the ball, just keep it up high, and just make your move to the basket. They're going to have to foul him because no one can stop him. He's just too big and too strong down at the post.
And he'll snatch up all those rebounds too.
Yeah.
So I think we really need to give him a chance and let him play on that second unit. Give him some minutes against better competition to see how he'll do. That's the only way. It's the only way he'll learn.
Yeah. He's got to get his feet wet. He's got to go in there in garbage time and that crunch time, you know, and he's just got to learn.
Well, he dominated. He dominated the little bit of time that he played in that Brooklyn game.
Yeah, against the Nets. Yeah, you should have heard the crowd. They wanted him to score every time he would come down the court. It was hilarious.
Yeah, you got somebody in there that big. You need to be maximizing him. You need to be using him every chance you get.
Yeah. You know, it's evident, though, the absence of Thiago Splitter and Aaron Baines, it's having an effect already on the offense, you know, and on the defensive end as well. we really miss those guys, man. I mean, yeah, they people were always downing Thiago and Thiago this and he was no good. You know what? If we still had Thiago on the team, the Spurs would be looking a little different. You know, granted we wouldn't have LaMarcus Aldridge, but I mean it's just because that that type of player like Thiago, they already know the system. You know, and it's just a learning curve with LaMarcus, and I still stand by my assumption that I had with Thomas Vega and my Spurs fan cave brothers. I said it's going to take 10 to 15 games before we see these guys starting to kind of gel together. It wasn't going to happen right away. I mean, what do you think?
I see the same thing. Matter of fact, you know how it is. I had a non-Spurs fan last night who had contacted me all year long, inboxed me on Facebook last night after the game was over, saying that he didn't know about the Spurs this year. And I had to let him know that it takes time to fit in all these new people to a team. And, you know, I'd say we'll talk again around All-Star break. Don't count us out.
Yeah. They count us out, but we always somehow kind of work our way back. And even last year, during that All-Star break, during the rodeo road trip, you know, we didn't have a great record, and we didn't look good. But what happened? Near the end of the season, we made a big run, you know, and then we started scaring everybody that said, oh, no, here come the Spurs. It's going to happen again this year.
Every year, and everybody's still on Golden State's bandwagon and saying that, and this person that inboxed me last night said that Golden State was going to be hard to beat. But I had to let them know I don't see Golden State repeating.
Excuse me. You don't see Golden State beating the Spurs?
No, I don't see them repeating. They got lucky they didn't play us last year.
Yeah, true that. You know, I'll give them this though. The thing, and I knew this was going to happen with Golden State because they were disrespected last year as a champion.
Right.
And everything that everybody said, they were listening, especially Stephen Curry. You know, they said they got lucky. They only won because they had an easy road to, you know, through the playoffs, and they didn't face the Spurs. You know, they didn't face the elite teams, you know, in the West to get to where they needed to get to. I mean, granted, they went through Houston, but Houston is not an elite team. You know, they're okay, but they're not an elite team. You know, and it was evident last year when Golden State played them after Houston came back and beat LA that they weren't an elite team. They're good on as far as scoring points and offense, but as far as playing the defense, you know, they haven't played a team that can play them like the Spurs. The Spurs will get up on them. Kawhi Leonard can shut down Stephen Curry. I never seen nothing like that before. You remember that game last year on Easter Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, I was there watching that game, and it was something to see because Stephen Curry didn't know which way to go. He was looking, you know, in front. He was looking in the back, and Kawhi was all over that boy. He just picked him clean. I mean, he was on him, and there was just nothing he could do. He looked scared, you know.
And just think, Kawhi is only gonna get better. He's still a little ways from hitting his prime.
Yeah.
You know, and prime age for basketball player is 25 to 32. So, and his peak will be around age 28, 29. So,
yeah,
I can't wait to see how good he'll be once those years get here.
Oh man, it'd be scary. He's gonna be more comfortable, and he's gonna, you know, not have to work as hard because he's gonna already know all the veteran tricks, you know.
Yeah. And his offense will definitely be caught up with his defense by then, and both of them will be light years better.
Oh yeah, he's gonna know that, you know what, I gotta save myself a little bit, and then when it gets to the playoffs, that's when I unleash, you know.
And so far, it's looking like he'll be a strong candidate to repeat as Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be in the talk for MVP this year. You know, he might not win it, but he's going to be in the talk as MVP because the way he's playing right now, he is the best player on the Spurs team right now.
And it's not even close.
No, it's not. I mean, he's just on another level. You know, I mean, you look at him and you can tell now this is his team. That torch was passed. People talk about the torch passing. The torch was actually passed when the Spurs won their last championship, and he won the MVP in the finals. That's when the torch was passed. From that point on, it's been Kawhi's team. You know, that's just the way it's going to be. You know, he's the man, and everybody knows it right now. That I think the fans are just starting to see it. That it's more evident this year. You agree?
I do, but then I've been on a couple of message boards that still, of course, you always have detractors no matter what, but uh, I saw somebody last night that said that he still missed shots when it counts, and especially like last night, he missed a few shots when it was late in the game, and they claim he still choked when it mattered the most, but I don't see that at all. You know,
Those sound like some Spurs haters to me.
well, fair weather fans. That's exactly what it is.
They got no faith, man. You got to be in it for the long haul, man.
Right, and these are the same ones that claim that the Spurs need to stop giving games away. But you gotta
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm saying you got basically a bunch of key players new to the team this year that you're trying to fit in. So you can't expect it. I didn't expect the Spurs to win 65 games this year myself.
No. I picked them to win somewhere in the neighborhood between 57 and 60, maybe. I think that'd be a good number for them.
Yep, that's about what I was thinking. Anything over 60 would be gravy.
Yeah. But you never know. I mean, crazier things have happened, but my expectations are about 57 to 60, and it's not that I'm a Spurs hater. I'm a realist. The West is stacked, and there's just going to be no way that you're going to be on every single night. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. You got a lot of good teams out there.
Right, and then I heard somebody say that the league possibly caught up with the Spurs.
Man.
And I don't see that at all. This person that said that the league caught up with the Spurs said that once they beat the Heat in 2014, the league started copying them, and with the ascendance of Kawhi and with Tony Parker slowing down, and with us seeing a shift in the offense and adding Aldridge, they somewhere in between. They the Spurs somewhere in between what the majority of the league was, and the ball movement game that they played.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful game is not dead. That's the thing.
No, it's not dead. It's not dead.
It's changed. It's just going to change,
Right. That beautiful game is still there. They just doing they just trying to fit in the all-star talent to try to fit his talents into what they do, and that's not easy.
No, it's sure not. And I just finished reading an article. I put it up on the website, and it's talking about. Let's see if I can share my screen with you guys real quick. I share my screen. Okay, you see that article right there on our website right now. It's talking about Popovich takes a handoff approach to adjusting Aldridge. And basically all that means is that he's just letting Aldridge figure things out. He's got to do that too. It's hard to do, but it's better you do that during the beginning of the season versus you trying to do that midway, right before the All-Star break or after the All-Star break, when you're looking at trying to, get that seeding, down for the playoffs. I'd rather he just let him figure it out on his own, man up, and figure out what you need to do to fix your game and how you're going to fit inside the Spurs system. Because he already knows basically how the Spurs operate. He's just got to find his place, and I think that's a ballsy move on Pop's part. But he's a heck of a coach, so he knows exactly how he needs to coach this young man. What do you think?
Well, this is how I see it. Pop is playing chess while everybody else in the NBA is playing checkers.
That's true. That's true. But more importantly, I think he does. He has a point, though. I think he does. LaMarcus Aldridge he's just got to settle down, calm himself down, and figure out. I think what's going on with LaMarcus is more that he's just psyching himself out. He's trying to do too much on the floor. He's overthinking things. He just needs to and that's the thing. He just needs to let the game come to him. Don't try to force the issue. Let's see what that defense will give you. How you're gonna make your points. How you're gonna move within the offense. You just gotta calm down. There's 24 seconds on that clock in which you can go ahead and try to either pass the ball and get a better shot, and that's all he needs to do. He just needs to settle down, and he'll get into his rhythm. 10, 15 games, like I said, I think he'll figure it out. And that's the thing that all the news media was talking. Oh, look at the Spurs. They thought that they were going to come out and they were going to have tear up the league, and Spurs never thought that. It was just the media.
Yeah, very few in the media, but from most of the people I heard said that they wasn't sold on the Spurs, even with adding Aldridge. Even on the Sports Illustrated covers, everybody in Sports Illustrated picked OKC and Cleveland to be in the finals.
I don't know what type of Kool-Aid they're drinking, man, but OKC isn't looking all that great right now. You see the way that the Durant and Westbrook are playing. You saw what happened with them in their last game in that fourth quarter. Kevin Durant only touched that ball twice. Come on now, Russell Westbrook took it upon himself to say, you know what, I'm going to take this team to victory. But you can't do it. There's no I in team. You got to learn how to pass that ball. You got, a former MVP sitting out there on the wing waiting on you. They just got to learn to share the ball.
Well, since you mentioned that, I want to ask, have you seen my piece that I wrote last week titled Thunder Down?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dangers of over-relying on star players. That's what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And this over-reliance on two players, that's costed them every year.
Yeah.
They've been together. They don't have that balance. It's like in a typical NBA game, usually 100 points is enough to get a win. But if Durant and Westbrook get 30 apiece, that's still only 60 points. Where the other 40 gonna come from?
It's got to come from somewhere. That's why you got the bench and you got the other scrubs that are playing the third string. But I mean, you got to work together as a team to get your points.
Yeah, and check this out. You remember the game, that double overtime game against Orlando last Friday?
Yeah.
KD played 53 minutes and Westbrook played 47.
Yeah.
And they both combined. The starter scored 108 points. And those two together had 91 of those 108 points.
Yep.
They only got 31 from the bench.
That's not much.
No, and I don't think it's wise for them to play KD that many minutes early in the season, coming off of 3-foot surgeries.
Yep. And not only that, but Russell Westbrook too. he had a was it microfracture surgery on his knee. Remember
Right.
when that a couple years ago during that playoff game against Houston, he hurt his knee.
Yep.
And I mean, you're putting it's like a racehorse. You ride them hard enough, they're gonna their hearts are literally pop on you if you ride them too rough, you know. And that's the thing that they're doing with KD and Russell Westbrook. You're putting them in the game and letting them play way too many minutes because you know that once you set them on that bench, the team that's out there is not going to win it for you. You got no
Right.
confidence in your team, you know?
Right. And Billy Donovan is picking right up where Scott Brooks left off.
Yep.
If I had to guess a reason for this strategy for them, my first one would be Billy Donovan trying to keep both of them happy by playing them as many minutes as they want to play. And it seemed like, too, that they're trying to speed up the game to overcompensate for the defense not being that good. Because in that game, Orlando did whatever they wanted to do. They didn't have problems getting to the basket. And those two will be burned out by playoff time.
Oh, yeah,
And,
no doubt. They're going to be hurting.
right. And something else to think about is that with Billy Donovan being a first-time head coach in the NBA, taking losses early in the season is not a luxury that he'll have, and with him not having a strategy yet and not being powerful enough in the organization to force change with superstars, he'll have to earn their respect before he can change anything. So right now, all he can do is concentrate on getting as many wins as possible and trying to keep his job.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Durant and Westbrook will be the ones paying the price for it. And the other thing that's driving them is that Durant might leave next summer, especially if they don't win it, especially if they don't win it all this year. So they're going all in this season, and that's what's driving everything for them this year.
Yeah, well, you know where he said he's not going. He got really mad because Stephen A. called him out and said he wants to go play for the Lakers.
Right.
I don't think he's going to want to go from being, where he's at right now to go play for the Lakers. I think if he's going to be looking to win a championship, I honestly believe that he might not even be playing in the West. He might be moving to the East. Maybe teaming up with somebody down there. Give him a better chance to get, back to the finals because he knows how stacked the West is. I think he knows that he has a better shot if he plays Coast. That's just me.
Well, his number one rumored destination so far, from what I heard, was the Washington Wizards.
Okay.
Going back to his hometown.
Think you cut off on me, Thomas. You still there? Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were saying the Washington Wizards?
That's his number one rumored destination, from what I heard, from what I've been hearing.
And I'd probably say that would probably be a good fit for him. If he teams up with John Wall, I
think somebody that won't take shots away from him.
Exactly. It'd be a good tandem, a good duo right there. They'd be playing great offense, and Wall can play some decent defense. I saw him playing out there on Tony Parker. That last second 3-pointer that Tony had, Wall was all over him, man. He's lucky he got that shot off. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
He can play some D. That's what I like about him. He's got some fire in him, He's not afraid. He'll get right up in your face.
That's what going to Kentucky will do for you.
Yeah, he plays hard-nosed basketball. I love him, man. As a player, he's just fun to watch, because you just never know what he's going to do. I mean, he's got the athletic ability to just run down that court every single time and just do something spectacular. He's a special player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's why he was a number one pick for a reason in 2010.
Yes, sir. He sure was. Hey, I don't know if you saw the standings right now, but one of the things that really surprised me are the Pelicans. The Pelicans and the Lakers are 0-4. I mean, the Pelicans Team
I
that went,
expected it from the Lakers, but not the Pelicans.
yeah, that's like the Pelicans. I mean, to me, it's like they're right there with the Lakers at 0-4. The Pelicans were a team who made it to the playoffs last year. You know,
Right.
they were the eighth seed, give granted that, but they made it to the playoffs, and they're 0-4. I was like, wow. You know, I don't know what to say about that, man.
Monty Williams being gone and might be hurting them more than they realize. I still don't think he deserved to get fired.
No, they should have just they should have just kept him as the coach. He already had made progress with the team. But you know how it is in the NBA nowadays. They want to see instant results. They don't care
Yep.
how you get them. They just want to see instant results. And why? Because it has to always do with the almighty dollar. If your team makes the playoffs, you know you're going to see some more cash in your pocket. You know,
Right.
that's it. The owners nowadays, they don't like to wait around. You know, if you're not cutting it, man, and you're not going to make the playoffs, we're losing millions of dollars. You got to go, and that's a bad move because you never know what this coach will do with the team next year. You know, you don't
Right.
know what's going on behind the scenes.
It takes 3 years, 4 years at least, for a coach to fully implement his system and get the players to buy into it and get all the type of players on the team that he feels the most comfortable with running his system.
Perfect example of that, Mark Jackson. Remember him with the Golden State Warriors?
Right.
Look at what he was doing, and it was just a difference of opinion between him and the upper management. They didn't see eye to eye because they didn't agree with the way he was running the team. But the way he was running the team was making Golden State a better team altogether. If he would have stayed as a coach for the Warriors, I believe they still would have won the NBA championship. You know, they think Kerr's the one that came in and changed the team miraculously. It wasn't Kerr. They owe a lot to Mark Jackson. You know,
That's why I think he should have got a ring too.
yeah, he should have got a ring because without him, the Warriors wouldn't even have had a chance. You know, because when he came in, they were a hot mess. You know,
Yep.
I mean, they were a great offensive team, but they could not play defense to save their lives. And defense is what's going to win you championships. They started finally buying into that philosophy, and right when they started playing decent defense, they let Mark Jackson go, and they got Steve Kerr. So they contribute everything that happened to Steve Kerr. And granted, Steve Kerr is a good coach in his own right, but that team, he didn't change it overnight. They were already there. He just came in and he was like plug and play, you know. He actually won a championship off of something that somebody else built. You know, that's the
Mm,
way I see it.
that's the way I see it too. And I still remember that 2013 second round series we had against them and how they gave us all kind of fits.
Yeah, I remember that. Remember Manu came back and brought the team
Oh
back?
yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. I thought they were going to lose that game. I mean, I thought this was it. But Manu just came back and he refused to go down. And he brought the team back and they won the game. I was like, wow, that was something. Oh, look, we got our special guest with us now. Thomas, you there with me, Tom?
I think we lost him.
No, I don't know. I can't hear him. Thomas, can you hear us? Oh, hold on. See if I can. Thomas, can you hear us? Thomas, I can't hear him, man. You can't hear him either, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm, they might have to let him know.
Hello?
Oh, there you go. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you.
We can hear you too. Glad you could join us, my friend. We're joined right now
Oh,
by
hey,
Thomas, the Spurs dude Vega, all the way from Corpus Christi, Texas. Thomas, we're also joined right now by Tom Tom. He's over in Alabama right now. You want to tell him hi?
hey, what's up, Tom Tom?
Hey, what's going on, man?
This is your
Oh,
admin
nothing.
brother, man. This is your admin brother from y'all's page. Was it Spurs Dynasty?
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh-huh. Yes. Hmm.
So we're talking about Steve Kerr right now and about the Golden State Warriors. What we're talking about
Uh-huh.
is how it takes a coach now in the NBA anywhere from 3 to 4 years for the players to actually buy into the system and for that coach to get the players to play at a high level or even a level high enough so they can make the playoffs. We're saying that nowadays that the league and the owners, they want instant results. They don't want to wait, and gradually have their team, I guess, get to that level that it's going to take so they can make the playoffs. It's all about the almighty dollar now, and the owners just say, well, we gave you 2 years or we gave you a year and you didn't bring the team and you didn't make the team any better, so you got to go. Because when the teams make the playoffs, it's all about money, and that's what they care about now. They care about putting that money in their pocket, and that's why everybody's so hell bent on having their teams make the playoffs, even if it's an 8 seed. You make the playoffs, you get more money. You could sell these tickets for a lot more, and you get all these fans coming in and filling up the arenas. And we're saying that basically Mark Jackson was the reason that the Golden State Warriors are playing at that level that they're playing now. A lot of that is attributed to Mark Jackson and the work that he laid down. When Steve, and I'm not taking nothing away from Steve Kerr, I'm granted he might be a good coach in his own right, but the only reason he won that championship for Golden State is because he came in and he just basically worked off of everything that Mark Jackson had already done. We haven't seen what he can do when it's just him as the coach without, coming off of a system that was already put in place for you. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that's what we're saying, and we're just talking about LaMarcus Aldridge and how he kind of psyched himself out of the game yesterday. He even said it himself. Did you see that piece that came out on the Express News? I think Jabari Young had mentioned it, and he was saying how he was kind of taken aback to how LaMarcus Aldridge openly said after the game, "Yeah, I missed a couple of shots, and that kind of messed up my game, and it was hard for him to get back into the game because he missed the first couple of shots. We need somebody who's a little bit more mentally tough than that. He can't talk himself out of the game. You got to talk yourself into the game. The shot's not falling. You got to do something else, either on the defensive end or help your teammates so you can fit yourself back into the game. You don't want to talk yourself out. You want to talk yourself up. You know what I mean?"
Yeah, and it's gonna take a little
Yeah.
time. It's gonna take a little time for him to wash that stench from Portland off of him.
Hmm. Yep.
He's got to
Yeah,
take a bath in that Spurs Kool-Aid, man, and get up to a championship
right,
level, man.
right. 9 years and only making it out of the first round once.
Yeah.
You can see that in his mentality.
Yep. Yeah, old habits die hard, man. But we're saying that me and Tom Tom both believe Spurs will start gelling in about 10 to 15 games into the season. I mean, what's your take on that, Thomas?
Yeah, and that's, I always talk about that too all the time, when Spurs fans always ask me, you know, how do I think the Spurs are going to play out? And I always say it every year. Um, it's the same thing every year, even despite the new players that they have. But the Spurs have always been a team that they always, you know, once the rodeo road trip comes around, that's when they start playing better as a team. Their chemistry is a lot better. They just know each other a lot better at that time. And it's not so much what they do in October, November, and December. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. So you just, it's you have to be patient, and it's not like they're just going to come running out the gates winning a whole 20-game winning streaks.
Yeah, that's
It just
exactly
doesn't
what me
happen
and
that
Tom
way.
were talking about before you came on. Talking about that, about the fans, that the fans need to settle down and understand that you're in it for the long haul.
Hmm.
You're not going to come right out of the gate with new players and expect to go on a 20 win 20 games in a row, 20-game win streak right off the bat. That's just not going to happen.
Hmm.
You know, maybe later on in the season it will when they're, like you were saying, they gel, but not right now, not right in the beginning. They just got
Yep.
to settle down. You know. So what do you think as far as their record's going to go? Me and Tom both say about 57 to 60 wins. Anything over 60 is going to be gravy. What do you got, Thomas? Oh, I think we lost him.
Can you repeat that real quick? Because
I
you were
said,
breaking up.
no, okay. Me and Tom, we're saying that the Spurs record this year is going to be anywhere between 57 to 60 games. Anything after 60 games is just gravy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same thing too. Like I said, and especially since they're playing in the West, and that's why, like the past two games that we've lost, um, a lot of it was just coming down to miscommunication, and these are things that can be fixed, throughout the season. And once the Spurs figure that out, you know, it'll be gravy afterwards, And yeah, I think I'm not gonna say they're gonna win 70 games. I think it's gonna be about the same like it always is, around the 55 range, mark. They probably will get up to 60 wins, but just keeping it in perspective, I think around 55 wins. Um, just because of just because of how competitive the Western Conference is, and I think the Spurs will be fine. They always, at first they always go through little bumps in the road, and this is every season, whether they're coming off a championship or they're just starting a new fresh season. It just takes time for them to get together, gel, and the chemistry is there, and it's coming along. Like with LaMarcus Aldridge, he just has to not think so much. Anytime you start thinking
Yeah.
in games, that's when you start missing. And even if he's missing a couple of shots, all he has to do is just drive in, get to the free throw line,
Yeah.
make some free throws, get your confidence back up, and I guarantee you will start making shots again. I guarantee it. I play basketball. I know the mentality of it, and it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You can't just think. A lot of times, people ask me, how do you make the shots you make when you're playing basketball, Thomas? You shoot kind of funny. Well, it's I have confidence. You have to play
Like
with
that Sean
confidence.
Marion shot, man, the Matrix shot. You remember that? How Sean Marion used to shoot the ball?
But
Oh, that was ugly.
the what?
The Sean Marion shot, man. You remember when he was Sean
Uh-huh.
Marion? Every time he shoots the ball, he doesn't just cup the ball. I mean, it's like he literally got the ball at the fingertips and he just shoots. It's one of the ugliest
Yeah.
shots you're ever gonna see, but somehow it'll fall. Tom, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Know exactly what you're talking about.
That ugly shot. That's what I'm
He
saying.
gave us-
You don't got
He gave us
that.
fits with that shot when he was in Phoenix.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but it works. It works for you,
Right.
But one thing we were getting at is that we're actually talking about one of the surprises out of the West this year was the Pelicans. Man, the Pelicans have the same record as the Lakers, and that's how we got talking about coaches. Tom was saying that now they're missing Monty Williams more than they realize because the Pelicans that made the playoffs last year and were looking great at the end of the season are 0-4 to start the year. That's crazy.
Yeah. The Pelicans really made a huge mistake. We fired Monty Williams, and I said this the day they fired him. I said they couldn't have been more stupid in firing this guy. Monty Williams is a good coach. Now, he's not Greg Popovich, but he's still a pretty good coach. they got to the playoffs. And the Western Conference, that's tough to do. I don't care what team you are. You get your team to the playoffs. I mean, no, they couldn't beat the Warriors. The Warriors were a better team, but I mean, they still made it. People, that's what's wrong with these owners. We just talked about it earlier. They want results right away. It doesn't work that way in sports. It doesn't. It's a process, and everybody wants it now. Everybody wants instant oatmeal. It doesn't work that way. And
they just want the cash. They want that money. That's all they care about.
Yeah, that's all it is. And that's all it's ever about. And why do you think LeBron goes to all these superstar teams with all-stars? Yeah, because he knows he can't do it by himself. And it's not just about doing it by himself. It's not like he has a bad team around him. This thing about he had a bad team in the finals, that's a bunch of nonsense. You make it to the finals, you're good enough to win. I don't care who you're playing against. You figure it out, and you just do it. You don't say, oh, I lost because so-and-so, I didn't have enough help. You had enough help to get there.
You got cramps.
Finish the job. Finish the job.
Hey, it's gonna be more of the same for LeBron this year too.
You lose. It's because you lose. You lost to a better team.
Yeah. He was saying he got cramps. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Gremlins that broke the AC over here at the AT&T Center. And that's what gave him them cramps in that game when they played out here, and he just couldn't go no more. Man, it was like a sauna at the AT&T Center, man. They didn't even open the doors or nothing. They kept that place locked down. The poor people.
Okay. And it was jokes going on after that game talking about how Tim Duncan, who was 38 years old, played the whole game, outlasted LeBron, who was only 29.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, man. But
Tim had 21 and 10 in that game and only missed one shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true, man. The thing with LeBron, though, LeBron's always been prone to cramps, though. He's good as long as you keep him cool. But once he starts his body gets hot, and he's been playing out there for a while, it starts to shut down on him, and he always gets those real bad cramps. He can't move, he can't walk, and it has to do with minutes. It's the thing is that you got to manage the minutes. He's just showing you right there. You play me too long, I can't go.
Well, LeBron is starting to break down this year anyway. A lot of people
That's a good point. That's a good point you brought up, Tom. I think, and I told my son this, because he's like, oh, let me be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real. This is going to be LeBron James last season where you're going to see LeBron James. After this, Father Time's going to get you. You
already had to have a back injection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was doing that new therapy. What do they call that? Where they freeze everybody? That cryogenic therapy, where they put you in this big old cylinder and they keep the top of it open, but they have this, below, I don't know, 150 below or whatever, nitrous oxide, I don't know what it is. It's some type of space age thing that they do to help revitalize the body because you have aches and pains and all that. And they showed pictures of him when he was in that cryogenic chamber trying to help revitalize his body. It hasn't been proven to do anything other than just be expensive. I tell you, man, just go dump yourself in a bathtub with some ice in it.
And then it didn't help too that he had to start the season off carrying them on his back again. Kyrie Irving's still not back from that kneecap. Then Kevin Love is still not 100%.
I'll tell you one thing about Kevin Love, man, and this is the God's honest truth. He's the biggest baby they got on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He needs
that man is softer than wet cake.
He is, man. He is. You gotta be coddled, Oh, Kevin, you still got it. Oh, Kevin, you're great. Oh, Kevin, we need you. Brother, Just get out on the damn court and play some basketball. The hell with all that, man.
Yeah.
That's what you get paid to do. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen, you know? It's like you see him on the sidelines, you know, when they're talking with him and they're putting their arm around him and everything. I'm like, come on, man. Just get out there and play ball, dude. What's wrong with you?
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that saying, Tom Tom. He's softer than wet cake.
And that's the truth.
Oh, man, that is true, though. But you know what? Granted how the East is set up right now, who do you all have as your dark horse coming out of the East? You know, I think the team that can kind of surprise some people this year is actually the Miami Heat, man.
Yeah.
I won't disagree with that.
They better watch out for
Yeah.
that.
You know, I kept saying too, it would have been nice if we could have gotten Whiteside. It would have been
Yeah.
real nice.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine him and God?
Wow.
You talk about block shots. You talk about rim protection. Tim Duncan and Whiteside in the paint together. Ain't nobody scoring down in the paint.
No.
That's the second coming of the Twin Towers right there.
Yeah, that would be like
Oh,
Dave
my.
Robinson and Tim Duncan all over again.
Yeah. Yep. It would have.
You know what, man?
He's real good.
You know what?
And then,
I was thinking of what Tom Tom said. You know, I think when the Cleveland Cavaliers come calling to San Antonio, we need to go wear some shirts that say wet cake.
Oh man.
yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
And have Kevin Love's number on it. What does that mean? The dude's softer than wet cake.
And he did pick the right number.
Yeah.
Zero.
Zero.
True that, he did.
Yep.
That number's going to be symbolic for him because that's the number of championships he'll finish his career with.
And you know what? They paid a lot of money for him, too, just for him have that soft of a player on your team. Somebody that needs constant coaching, you know? Why? What's my motivation? Like an actor. What's my motivation to play the game today, coach? Money? We just finished dropping I don't know how many millions of dollars on you on the off season. That's your motivation. Your paycheck.
Yep.
Oh man. But another
Yeah,
team surprised me this year from the East. I didn't expect Toronto, man. Toronto's been hurting people.
Yep.
They've been playing.
Yes, they have the DOKC.
They've been playing damn good ball lately, man.
Yeah, they still the only undefeated team in the East.
Yeah. But you know, I like their style of play, though. They're a scrappy team, man. They find ways to just, you know, get out there and just drag it out. You know, they're kind of like the way the Grizzlies are, you know, how they just kind of drag the game out. They just grind it out. That's the way Toronto is, but they're a lot better than the Grizzlies.
Oh, the Grizzlies been looking. I call the Grizzlies the gummy bears.
Yeah, man. When you get by 50 points, you're a gummy bear.
Yeah, because they're looking like a lottery team with the way they've been getting beat down.
Man, they lost games by 30-something points and then 50 points. I was like, wow, what is wrong with you guys? You all still got the same.
Well, you know what? Ever since they fired Lionel Hollins, they've been screwed. Ever since they fired him, they ain't been the same.
Nope.
They haven't been the same.
He was a good coach, man.
And it's all about, yeah, he was. I mean, like I said, they're not Pop, but I mean, damn, you know, there's still good coaches.
The poor man's Pop is Doc Rivers.
Right. But I'll be in attendance in that December 3rd game against Memphis, so I'm looking for us to go up there and run them out of their own gym.
You're gonna be representing over there, Thomas? Tom?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, man. You be wearing your jacket, your famous jacket?
Yeah, probably so.
I'll be
Because
looking for you.
every time I wear that, they win.
There you go. I'm gonna be looking for you on TV, man. I'm gonna see if I can see you. I don't want to tell the people what color it is, but I know. So I'm gonna be looking for you. Maybe
Okay.
I'll get a screenshot of it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'll work. Because I'll be sitting by the tunnel, by the Spurs tunnel.
Oh man. See if you get a high five or get the players to take a picture or something with you, man.
Well, I did that when I was there last year for my birthday. You know, I got got a handshake from Tim.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know his brother. You know that's a good thing that you just brought up, Tim. There was a piece that just came out a little while ago. That I saw on my essay and the Express News. They were talking about Scott Duncan, his older brother, and they were saying how he's in awe of his little brother, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Scott Duncan actually did the intro for the Spurs this season when he was down here shooting the video, and he was taking all those pictures of his brother at the racetrack.
Yep.
When he was here, that's exactly what he was doing. He was getting that intro video, ready for the Spurs, and it's something else, man. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did. That was good.
Have you seen that new intro video, Tom?
No.
We got it on our Facebook. If you go to the Spurs Fan Cave Tumblr, we put a link to the actual video in its entirety, and it looks killer, man. They got flames and everything behind the courts now. I've never seen that before.
Oh yeah, they had flames. That's the first thing I noticed when I was at that Nets game.
Yeah.
I saw the intros and then the flames came out. What in the world? The Spurs have never had fire. They have never. I thought I was in Detroit.
Right.
Detroit basketball.
Oh man.
Man, we need to get that. We need to get that DJ they had over in Detroit, man. He's killer, man. I like that guy.
I tell you who else got a nice intro. Atlanta.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
Oh yeah.
Something else. That projection that they have on the court. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Real nice.
I don't know why the Spurs haven't gotten that. The Spurs need that.
Oh, I'll tell you why. You all want to know the reason?
Why?
Plain and simple. Earlier in the year when we sat down and met with the Spurs, I asked them about that, and I said they were, trying to look for ideas, So they said, hey, what do you think we should do, this and that, and I said, why don't you all get like a projection, and do something with the court, like they do out in Atlanta, and they said, no, we don't want to do that because Atlanta's already doing it.
But everybody does it.
I know.
You can do it, but put your own twist on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I told them. I said, somebody else did it, but it doesn't mean you got to copy them. You
don't copy them. Yeah. I mean, you don't copy him. Of course, you do your own creative stuff. A lot of the NBA teams, they use a similar graphics, but they're just different in their own way. And that's all they have to do.
Yeah,
there's plenty of people that make graphics out there. There's plenty of people that they can find to do that. Video production. Heck, just have Scott Duncan do it. Jeez.
Yes, you already got him there.
Right.
I know, like
a couple million more.
I don't understand. Yep.
If not him, I got somebody in my back pocket.
There you go. Call it Tom. Yeah, but that's the reason they said, no, we don't want to do that because somebody else has already done it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just do your own thing, But, oh, well, man, it is what it is. I still like the intro, and I like the way the place looked. I don't know if you've been to the arena yet or you've seen the pictures yet, Tom, but the AT&T Center is something else, man. Compared to how it used to look before, it was old and outdated. Even the lights, they give it like a brownish, like an orange hue. Remember that, Thomas?
Yes.
We're watching it now. It's like all LED and it's all bright. Man, it's like you're watching the game in HD now.
Yeah, I can already see that the AT&T Center, at least from the outside, looked completely different from when I was up there in April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
It's really different. It's like it's a lot brighter too. It's like when you walk in the entrance, the main lobby, it's all bright. It's like bright. It's just bright.
it even smells
But you
clean.
can still
It
tell
even
they still.
smells new. Right? It
Hmm.
smells new when you walk in there. It's like, man, this place it looks.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I liked it, man.
yeah.
Even
They
the
redid
food tastes
everything.
better. Even the food tasted better. Because you know, as big boys got to eat, man.
I'm, well, I'm right with you on that one.
And you know what, man? I give them props too. The seats are a little bit wider. They took our advice, man. Because they needed to make some seats for some big boys up in that place, man. Because when you're trying to squeeze in them little seats, I was always saying a little bit of you spills over. But now the seats got wider. And wow, man, it made a big difference. You sat in there, you were no longer trying to like squeeze in those seats. I mean, you just boom, you felt in there, you felt comfortable. You sat down in them. You weren't like bumping elbows with the person next to you. I was like, wow, man, these seats are nice now. Thomas,
Yeah, it was
Thomas, you ain't got
different.
that problem, man. But us big boys, man, we need some room.
Well, I know I definitely need leg room.
Oh man, that is true, man. You sitting down and your legs, your knees, they start cramping up on you because you have your knees, they're bent like this the whole time, you know?
Yeah,
I can't stand that, man. I got to get up and walk around a little bit.
yeah, me too. Anybody under 6 feet, they don't have to worry about it. But if you're over that threshold like I am, that can be a big problem.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I know my buddy, he's like 6'3", and he's kind of like, oh man, moving his knees. I say, yeah, you feeling it too, man.
I'm a little bit taller than that, so you can only imagine how I would feel.
Yeah, man, it's like,
Mm.
yeah, you can't be comfortable like that. They gotta give you guys recliners,
Mm,
man.
right.
Need some leg room. Oh, guys, I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna step away just for a quick second, all right? So y'all can talk amongst yourselves real quick, okay?
All right.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Tom Tom?
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right, I'm back.
On that was start communicate talking.
Hey, I
That
forgot
was
that I need
quick.
to go ahead and do the contest. So I put all the names in here in this little cylinder of all the people who entered our contest to pick your favorite HEB Spurs HEB commercial. The consensus was everybody
Oh yeah,
cooking with Timmy or cooking with Tony, should I say?
that one was funny. Yeah, that one was
This time
funny.
doesn't say
Funny.
cooking with Timmy.
Hey, yeah, did y'all see that new one that just came out? I just uploaded it yesterday to my Facebook. It's of Manu, and it's a Spanish commercial.
No,
It's in Spanish.
from
You didn't
HEB?
see that one?
Is it from
Yeah,
HEB?
it's in Spanish.
Wow. No,
Yep,
because I knew there was six and
it's
they
an
only
HD.
five.
Well, I think they made more. Yeah, they made an extra one. They made with Ginobili just by himself. He's speaking Spanish and he's talking about like steaks or something. And he's playing like with an accordion. He has a little accordion and he's playing with it. And yeah, I just uploaded it to my Facebook yesterday. It's on my timeline if you go to my timeline.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a winner right here. Let's see who's the lucky winner. All right, I got one. Let's see who it is. Our lucky winner is, I don't know if y'all can see that, Chrissy Reyes. Chrissy Reyes, you just won a $20 Sideliners gift card. We'll make sure we get that out to you right away. I'll probably be contacting you via Facebook, through Instant Messenger, so I can get your information and we'll go ahead and send that off to you. Congratulations, Chrissy. We appreciate your support. Another thing I wanted to do is I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, which include City Based Cinema, Game On, Alamo Draft House, Main Event, Mark Overton Lemon III, Ed Luna Photography. I love you, my brother. Ed Luna's been there for us from day one. And also Sideliners Grill. We appreciate you guys' support. And also, before I forget, Native Grill and Wings off of Ingram Road, and the owner Ron. Appreciate you all support. Okay, guys. Well, one last thing I guess we should talk about. Are the Spurs gonna get to the NBA Finals? And is Manu gonna get that last ring before he goes off in the sunset? What do you guys think?
I say definitely. And I might be in the minority on this one too, but even if we do win this year, I still don't think this is Tim's last year or his last year.
I think he's going to come back for one more year because he's going to want to win. If they win this year, the championship, he's going to want to win it back-to-back. Yeah, he wants to get a repeat.
Man, yeah, I think so too. And that's the thing about Tim. He's real competitive, and he even talked about that he's gonna keep playing until he feels like he can no longer help the team or contribute. Unlike Kobe Bryant, who doesn't know when to stop, Tim knows when to call it. He'll know when that time is there. When he feels like he can no longer help us, and say, you know what, yeah, it's Kawhi, you got to take over, or LaMarcus, you take over. And Kawhi Leonard's been taking over. All these games so far that I've seen this season, even we've only played like 4 or 5 games, I mean, Kawhi is taking over. And, it's every game he's scoring at least 20 points. He's getting rebounds. He's stealing the ball. Even the game against the Wizards last night, he dove on the floor for the loose ball, hustle plays.
He was hustling, man.
And we didn't lose because of Kawhi. We lost. I mean, man, he did lose Bradley Beal on the last possession. I kind of got upset about that, because I really thought Kawhi could have at least contested Bradley Beal's shot, because he got free. I mean, every game he's been playing really great. You can't say anything bad about Kawhi. He's doing his job. He's doing what is expected, and the Spurs will be fine. Tim was even joking yesterday, even after the game with Danny Green, like he was laughing. He knew that they're fine.
And then I want to say a couple more things about Tim real quick. I still think he's too good to retire, and in my opinion, he's playing better than Kareem was at his age. So we need to start looking at him as the new measuring stick for big man longevity.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And that Knicks game the other day, that was like a vintage game for him. That was proof that he can still dominate a game at 39.
Yeah.
With him protecting that paint, did you know that the front court for the Knicks combined for 13 for 44 shooting?
Wow, man, that's horrendous.
Right. And Tim contested 10 shots at the rim, with the Knicks only making 3 of them.
Wow. That's horrible, man.
Yep, man.
And right, and let's put that milestone he hit that game in perspective. Breaking John Stockton's record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Karl Malone's. He broke John Stockton and Karl Malone's record.
Right. After that game, Tim's career record was 954 and 381. John Stockton's is 953 and 551. I mean, that's a difference of 170 losses between both of them. That's almost more. That's more than 2 full seasons worth of losing.
That's true.
Whoa.
I just wanted to do one thing real quick. I wanted to share this. I brought this a couple days ago because I promised my buddy Taro when he comes into town that I'm going to go ahead and give this to him. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to you, Taro Katani. He's our extended Spurs fan cave brother all the way over in Japan. He'll be coming over here soon, so just want to let you know I got something for you. Looking forward to see you, man. Looking forward to seeing you and hanging out with you, man. Maybe you come into town too, Thomas?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Tom.
Come into town when Taro comes
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Man.
When's he coming again?
Yeah, I'll tell you when we get off the air, man. I don't think he wants me to announce his personal business on a podcast, but I'll let you know.
Oh.
I'll let you
I
know.
just attend whenever I can, you know.
Hey, man, you know what? Before we go, I just wanted to say, Tom, have you seen the Spurs Coyote mural?
Yeah, I think I have.
Thomas actually was out here about a week ago when we went to the home game, the Spurs' first home game of the season, and we took some pictures with him out there in front of the Spurs Coyote mural.
I did see that. You tagged me in those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I tagged you, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about it, Thomas?
Yeah.
What did you think about the mural when you saw it in person?
Oh, yeah, it was nice. It was real nice. It was real colorful, and even when I uploaded the picture on Facebook, people were telling me that I kind of blended in.
Yeah, but what's amazing is that the artist Christopher Montoya, he actually did that just using spray paint, man. And ain't that something? You saw all the detail work on the coyote? I was like, wow. Well, you know what? Next time you come out here, we'll take you to that other mural, the one that Zesso did, the French artist that lives over in Brooklyn. You got to see that one, man. That one was amazing. All right, guys. Well, we're going to have to go ahead and end the show now. So I guess until next time, we always end the show. We give a Go Spurs Go. So until next time, Go Spurs Go.
Go Spurs Go.
All right, guys. Thanks.